Hi, in today's class we are starting new chapter atomic physics. In today's class we are learning about two theories, it is Dalton's atomic theory and J.J. Thomson's atomic model. For any atomic theory we have to learn postulates, limitations and drawbacks. Uh, sorry for any atomic model we have to learn postulates, limitations and merits of the theory. First we learn about Dalton's atomic model, a theory of chemical combination first stated by John Dalton in 1803. Dalton based his theory on the law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportions. His theory is based on the two laws, that is law of conservation of mass and law of constant composition. While studying his postulates, we will come to know about the law of conservation mass and law of constant composition, how he included these two laws. Postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. His first postulate is all matter is made up of tiny individual particles called atoms. He is saying that the atoms of any matter is tiny and individual particles called atoms. His second postulate is all atoms of a specific element are identical in mass, size and other properties. That is, if we take for example, if we take the atoms of a glass, the atom if all the atoms of a glass are similar in mass and size, and they have and the atoms have same in chemical properties. However, atoms of different elements exhibit different properties and vary in mass and size. If we take two elements, that is glass and wood, the atoms of wood and the atoms of glass are different in mass and size, and they have different in properties also. Next postulate is atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. He is saying that the atoms cannot be created, cannot be destroyed, and they cannot be divided into smaller particles also. His next postulate is atoms of different elements can combine with each other in a fixed whole number ratios in order to form compounds. That is, if we want to form a compound, we are adding two or more elements. While forming or while adding, if we take the ratios of two elements, that must be a whole number, that must be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Next, atoms can be rearranged, combined and are separated in a chemical reaction. In chemical reactions, we can rearrange, combine and separate the atoms. Next, limitations of Dalton's atomic theory. He does not account for subatomic particles. He does not account for isotopes. He is not at all concerned about subatomic particles and isotopes and allotropes. Elements need not combine in simple whole number ratios to form compounds. The limitations are, first one, it does not account for subatomic particles, it does not account for isotopes, it does not account for allotropes. Next one is, elements need not combine in similar and whole number ratios. Next, merits of Dalton's atomic theory. His atomic theory obeys the law of multiple proportions, law of conservation of mass and last law of constant proportion. He is saying that the law of multiple proportions, the law of conservation of mass and the law of constant proportions are not violated by the Dalton's atomic theory. Next, it gives a one base for differentiation. It gives one base to differentiate elements and compounds. That is, a theory provides a basis to differentiate between elements and compounds. There are two merits in this Dalton's theory. First one is it obeys law of conservation of mass, law of multiple proportions, and law of multiple proportions and law of constant proportions. These three laws are obeyed by Dalton's atomic theory, and it gives a base to differentiate elements and compounds. See this picture. According to this picture, electrons are revolving around the nucleus, and the nucleus is composed of two charged particles, that is protons and neutrons. Next, we are moving to J.J. Thomson's atomic model. This atomic model is also called as a plum-pudding model. J.J. Thomson, who invented the electron in the year 1897, suggested the atom's plum-pudding model in 1904. He invented the electron in the year 1897, but he presented this atomic model in 1904, when before the atomic nucleus was found to include the electron in the atomic model. Next, postulates of atomic model. While reading this or while understanding these postulates, his postulates can be related to watermelon. First one, an atom consists of a positively charged sphere with electrons embedded in it. These postulates can be related to watermelon, that is, see the picture. The red part of the watermelon is taken as a positive charge, and the seeds in the watermelon are considered as an electron, that is negatively charged particles. He is saying this only: an atom consists of positively charged sphere with electrons embedded in it. That is, if we take a watermelon, the red part is positively charged and the seeds within that is negatively charged particle. An atom as a whole is electrically neutral because the negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude. There are two postulates in Thomson's atomic model. First one is an atom consists of a positively charged sphere with electrons embedded in it. Second one is an atom as a whole is electrically neutral because the negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude. Next, limitations of Thomson's atomic model. He failed to explain the stability of an atom because his model of an atom failed to explain how positive charge holds the negative charged electrons in the atom. Therefore, this theory also failed to account for the position of nucleus in the atom. According to this theory, he is not at all concerned about nucleus. The positive charges particle are embodied in the sphere and negative also. So there is no nucleus in this atom. So he failed to explain the positive charge, how the positive charge holds the negative charge. Second, Thomson model failed to explain the scattering of alpha particle by thin metal foils. No experimental evidence in its support. This theory has no experimental support. There are three limitations. It does not explain the stability of an atom. This theory failed to explain the scattering of alpha particle by thin metal foils, and no experimental evidence in its support. This in 1904, Thomson model was disproved by Heinz Gagnes and Ernest Moderson's gold foil experiment. Thank you.